Hello everyone, I'm Teresa and today I'm going to talk about the Major Arcana card number 5, the Hierophant. Welcome back to another video of the Tarot series. Today I'm going to talk about the card of the Hierophant. Before we begin to dive into the card, remember to leave a thumbs up so I'll know you enjoyed this video and this series, and subscribe to the channel so you'll get a notification for the upcoming videos of this series. You can also keep this series going by supporting me on Ko-Fi by offering me a coffee. The link is on the description box as always. In case you are new here and haven't seen my previous videos of this series, I won't tell you a list of keywords for you to memorize, but instead I'll walk you through the analysis of this card. To me, the best way and the only way really that worked with learning tarot wasn't memorization, but actually understanding what I was looking at, what the card itself was telling me, and learning to use my intuition to bring the picture meaning into play on the reading. So I'll point out the most obvious elements we can see on the picture present on the card, and on these videos I'm following the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and after that I'll break down those elements into what they represent, why they are on the card. So to begin to analyze a card, I always start by looking into numerology because it is a great help to begin figuring out what a card will be about. The Hierophant is the card number 5 of the Major Arcana, and the number 5 in numerology is a number that speaks about changes, the ability to adapt and thrive in different circumstances. It's also a number of spiritual awareness and knowledge. Okay, so when we start to look at the card itself, we can see what appears to be a man sitting on a throne, and he is sitting between two stone pillars. He wears a red robe with white details and white clothing underneath. On his head, he wears a crown with 3 tiers. He is holding up one hand, making a very well-known gesture, while the other hand he holds a scepter. At his feet there is a pair of keys crossing, and beside these keys there's 2 men with clothes with flower patterns. So this seems like a very holy and sacred scene we are spying on, right? Let's figure it out. So first things first, what's a Hierophant after all? Maybe you are very familiar with this word, but let me tell you, as a non-native English speaker, the name Hierophant only appeared in my life through tarot. And it got me pretty confused as why I had never heard that name before. The word Hierophant, as far as I've researched, comes from the ancient Greek, and it comes from combining the words ta hiera and phainein. So ta hiera means the holy and phainein means to show. So the Hierophant is then a person that shows us the holy, the sacred. He is the main priest or chief priest that participated in the Eleusinian mysteries, where the Hierophant had a high rank equal to the one of the High Priestess. But you can search up some information on the Eleusinian mysteries if you want to better understand this. On the tarot, we can sort of see the Hierophant as the male counterpart of the High Priestess. However, the message they carry is very different, but you'll quickly understand that. He is obviously a religious character, so the 2 pillars behind him can belong to a sacred temple. However, these pillars are equal in color and shape, unlike the pillars depicted on the High Priestess. I personally see these as a sign of conformity, of obedience and resignation, sort of. Other ways, more popular ways of reading these pillars, I guess, is as the pillars from the Tree of Life of the Kabbalah, bringing the meaning of severity and mercy into play. So one pillar is severity, the other is mercy. If you look at the High Priestess card, there is a veil covering what's behind the two pillars, but on the Hierophant, there is nothing, just open space. And this is a call to the open knowledge. It's there for you, but you need the Hierophant authorization to pass. You need him to help you reach it and receive the message. The two men before the Hierophant seem to be looking up to him, as one would when looking for guidance. These two men could be friars by the way they present themselves, however, they have flower patterns on their clothes. One has red roses, which are a symbol of passion, desire, sacrifice, and the other one has white lilies. And white lilies are a symbol of purity, of commitment, even rebirth. This holy man is dressed in a red robe, which I already spoke about with other cards. It's a symbol of passion, so the Hierophant is moved by his passion, by what sparks the fire within him. But he also wears white clothing underneath the red robe, and white is the color of purity and innocence. So we know that his intentions are pure, and even though he is moved by passion, deep down he doesn't have any bad intentions. The Hierophant is holding his right hand up with a gesture that may be familiar to most of you, but its meaning is often overlooked or even unknown. This hand position, and please forgive me for pronouncing this probably wrong, it's called Harda Pataka, or half flag, and it's meant to represent the banks of a river on which we build a bridge over. So this hand position is the bridge or connection with the holy, with the spiritual side. He holds a scepter with 3 crosses, and this is a papal cross, a symbol of the higher rank of the Christian institution. This brings forth the Holy Trinity concept, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The 3-tiered crown is also a direct link to the Pope, as it was customary for the popes to wear the papal tiara or tribal tiara, which was a crown with 3 tiers. This was last used, I believe, in the early 60s by Pope Paul VI, I think. Fun fact though, the coat of arms of the Holy See and the Vatican City depicts the triple tiara with the crossed keys of St. Peter. But there is one other coat of arms that wears the tiara as a symbol. The coat of arms of the Patriarchate of Lisbon, the Archdiocese of the Catholic Church in Lisbon, uses the triple tiara, but instead of depicting the St. Peter's keys, it has a cross formed by a processional cross and a pastoral staff. This is a right that was never granted to another church or prelate, and this is not really a fun fact to most of you, but I was born in Lisbon, so to me it counts as a fun fact. Now, since I've mentioned the St. Peter's keys, these are also represented on the card. I'll make this short because if I delve too much into each aspect, the videos would end up being too confusing and long and probably boring to you. But legend or story or whatever has it, Jesus promised St. Peter the keys of heaven, thus binding Peter's actions on earth to the kingdom of heavens. So what do the keys mean? Well, keys open doors, and these are the keys of the kingdom of heaven. So they'll open the door to the spiritual enlightenment and knowledge. They connect the world of the earth below to the heavens above. And now if you step back from this rush of information, we can gather the keys, the scepter, the crown, and the hand gesture almost as a whole that makes the Hierophant a strong character, a character that seems to have a high, if not the highest, rank within an organization. Now, even though these symbols are all from the Catholic Church, we can't pin the Hierophant as a member of it. And here is where I find the mysterious side of this card. Is the Hierophant a sort of a pope? Some decks have this card renamed with Pope, but others have it renamed with Teacher. So, is he the leader of some underground organization? Some spiritual group that is welcoming new members into it? The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn was a secret society that dedicated to study occultism and metaphysics, and this order had a hierarchical system. New members needed to go through an initiation, and if we look at this card from another perspective, this could just as well be an initiation of these two new members. If you look into Arthur Edward Waite's life, the co-creator of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, he was part of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and the Freemason. So, can the Hierophant be elusive to his experiences on these secret societies? It's up to you to investigate and form your own opinion. On a final note, this card is also associated with the second astrological sign, Taurus. This is a sign ruled by the element of Earth and the planet of Venus, which means people from Taurus sign are grounded people. They are practical, they are determined, and sometimes stubborn and hot-headed. Imagine a bull eating grass on a field peacefully, unbothered. He will be very calm, but if you decide to disturb him and annoy him, the peaceful bull will quickly turn into an angry force charging at you. The fact that it is a sign ruled by the element of Earth means that this card will have external forces at play. Yet it has a yin energy, a passive and more interior energy, meaning inner work, shadow work, self-improvement, meaning that these are important and needed. The Taurus reinforces the stability, structure, and devotion meaning of this card. Okay, so fun part is over. What does exactly this all mean in a card reading? Let's see the more generic meaning that will need to be adapted depending on the reading, on the question you are working with, and all of that. You already know this, should know this. On a more broad sense, the Hierophant is about conformity, conventionalism, conformity within a group. One must obey certain rules in order to be accepted, being accepted by others, and especially by those above in the hierarchical ladder. This can translate as a wish to follow what is expected, what society demands, to be conventional, to be traditional, keeping traditional values alive. This can come from a need to belong in a group, or maybe a fear of being left out. Maybe you enjoy the safety of being within a group that holds the same values and truths. This card can be an invitation to look at your identity, your spiritual journey, and find a guide or a mentor, or to find your group of people where you feel accepted and understood. It doesn't necessarily need to be a church or a religious creed just because the Hierophant has Catholic symbols. Finding your tribe is what is intended. Maybe you have the soul of an artist and need that sort of vibe and mentality, so you can look up for art classes or an art debate group. Maybe you are more inclined to working out, and joining a gym or a runner's group could be a good idea. Finding a group where you find a leader, a teacher, a guide that helps you and enlightens you. Following the orders or advices from someone above you, maybe your boss, your parents, a doctor. This card basically means that following those more knowledgeable within a certain subject, it's an appropriate route to follow. This card can also be a sign that you need to reclaim or reorganize the structure of your life or whatever the problem you are seeking help for. Maybe you tried new and innovative paths, and the Hierophant is a sign that the conventional way is more effective to you. It can also be a sign of marriage or commitment, a sign to move to another level into a relationship. Okay, now to the reversal. Again, reversals can be read by turning the meaning upside down, like you are turning the card, or for example, by reading the energy of the card as having a block, or having its energy really, really faint. And this doesn't have to mean the card turns into a negative message. The Hierophant reversed can be a call to pursue the unconventional paths, to express your uniqueness and find your own individuality, your liberty and freedom. You might find that following an unconventional path will make you stand in the minority instead, but that's where the magic happens. You have the chance to really defy the odds and acknowledge your truth, your own wisdom. Maybe you have learned a lot from a higher ranked figure. The Hierophant in your life has taught you everything you needed to know. But now it's time to spread your wings and explore that wisdom from other points of view, with no restrictions. Deep down you know you no longer need the approval from the Hierophant to certify every move you make, but by straying away from this conventional route, you may find a lack of support. This is also a call to question the norm. You have been living a life where a set of rules were given and you probably always followed them blindly. But now it's time to question these rules, to investigate them and better understand why they do or do not make sense to keep following. It's the encouragement to look deep within yourself and do some work. The way you have been living your life is a mirror of your heart and soul. Maybe you are stuck in a situation that you no longer identify with and you have grown out of. So it's time to decide whether to stay or move from it. This is everything for today's video. I truly hope you have enjoyed this look over the card of the Hierophant. So let me know your opinion of this card with a comment. Is there any elements about it that I didn't explore? Maybe you see things from another perspective. Let me know. I'm always happy to get feedback even when people don't agree with me. I love to share knowledge and perspectives. Before you leave, you can find my social media links on the description box, so go check them out if you have some free time. I'll see you on the next video for the next card. Remember to stay safe and keep others safe as well. Bye!